Hi, welcome. This is our weekly reading for September 16th through September 22nd, 2016. Remember, it's a general reading, so see what feels right for you. See which signs, symbols, bells, whistles, messages, energies resonate for you and bring you clarity to what you are wondering, concerned, confused, inquiring, dreaming, and praying about. We're all children of God. We're all psychic. We're not all going through the same thing, so see what feels right for you. It could be one nugget that brings you clarity. It could be the whole reading. It could make sense later. In the end, always use your logic and intuition together to make sound decisions that are based in love for the highest, greatest good of everybody involved in the situation and so on, so we're all uplifted in love. See how it feels for you. Remember, how you ride these energetic waves that come through here is always up to you in the end. Is it your wave? Is it not your wave? Are you waiting for another wave? Preparing for the wave? Crashing into the wave? Riding the wave? Or ignoring the wave? It's always your choice in the end. See how it feels for you. Feel free to make this an interactive video with me if you want to pull some cards for yourself and get some further clarity or personal signs and symbols for this week. All right, thank you guys. I love you. I'll see you in a moment. Welcome, Sagittarius. This is our weekly reading for Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Inquiring for September 16th through the 22nd, 2016. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, our higher self, angels, and energies of love have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Inquiring for the week. One card for focus, clarity, insight, understanding, the highest, greatest good of all. The High Priestess, Sagittarius. We start with the difficult one. All right, the High Priestess is your own deep inner knowing on something. Perhaps you can't explain what this is that you know, what you feel, what you sense, what's drawing you forward between this doorway here. It's understanding your own direct, divine connection to spirit, whether it makes sense or not. Usually it doesn't. It's trusting your gut feelings, trusting your connection to your higher self, to God, to spirit, to your own guardian angels, to your spirit guides, and having navigation between two worlds. I feel like it's sort of like understanding, maybe there's dream time that's important, Sagittarius. Maybe I feel like dreams are important for some reason. Like perhaps you have very, very vivid dreams, or you're thinking about a dream you had that was extremely vivid, like hypercolor, technicolor, music going kind of dream. Maybe that's a sign for you, or you have visions. Perhaps when you're awake about things, you get really powerful feelings about something, or perhaps you're going to get a lot of signs and symbols this week, Sagittarius, that are very, very personal for you. The High Priestess is personal. It's a 2. So I feel like it's a feminine energy. It can't always be explained. It's connected to the moon. It's connected to emotions and tides in the ocean. I always feel like behind this curtain there's a big ocean somehow, and that ocean is also another world, also another dimension. It's like the abyss behind her, and she travels back and forth somehow between these two worlds and has information from both. So I feel like when the High Priestess comes, it could be like really mysterious information that comes to you. I feel like she has knowledge. She read something, she found something, she was told something, she experienced something, perhaps everything. He experienced all this. but it's the more irrational side of spirituality than the rational side, which I would put the Hierophant under, or the Pope in the tarot deck. I feel like this is the feminine version of that card. So let's get more clarity on this card for Sagittarius. I actually want to go to the Angel Tarot next. So let's get a card for Sagittarius. Get more clarity on the High Priestess. I also feel like it's a gateway. It's up to you to walk through it. It's up to you to bring something to the surface. I also feel like there's also a slow unfolding with the High Priestess. She can't teach everything that she knows or understands or went through or feels all at once. It has to be revealed slowly. So I would say hold your cards close to your chest and really tap into your intuition this week. Let's get more clarity though for Sag. The Emperor. Okay, so ooh, these are really powerful cards. You have the High Priestess and the Emperor. So this is very, very powerful and very masculine. In reality, it's using your logic. So maybe today or this week, maybe today when you're watching this video, Sagittarius, or this week, but I feel like there's something that these are connected in a decision towards. So it's about that deep knowing and that deep, I want to say understanding of things you can't explain, and what you logically understand and know, your talents, your skills, what you're good at, that left brain side of you to put stuff together and do it right, do it the right way. Maybe do it the right way this time by not ignoring one or the other, Sagittarius. So the 4 brings stability. It's the Emperor. I mean, in this, it's Archangel Michael. It's the strength of God here. It's organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. I would say if you put these two together, that's pretty strong leadership. So let's get more clarity, Sagittarius. It's pretty powerful reading to start with. So I'm going to go to the Native American Tarot, and let's pull a card that bridges the High Priestess and the Emperor, the 2 and the 4 together for this week for Sagittarius. I also feel, before I pull this, there's also a curtain here. But his is somehow, it's like she's the moon and he's the sun. Somehow. His is like golden. So perhaps he goes into a different dimension. He knows a different side that she does not. Perhaps these two energies together create something really, really powerful. They balance each other somehow. I also feel like she's more spiritual world and he's more like reality land world. I just hear powerful. Maybe this is a very powerful couple, Sagittarius. Maybe this is a relationship you have in your life, or it's coming in your life, or this is a really, really beautiful balance between your own masculine and feminine. I almost want to give you a high five. So I do want to give you a high five. High five, Sagittarius. Let's see what else we have. I am such a dork, by the way. All right, let's get another card. All right, now we have the Devil. So we have a strong reading. What is it that's keeping you back from all of this power? Is it too much ego? It's too much of something. It's something that you need to face to gain this power back here. Neither of these two people is afraid to face their fears, is afraid to face their opportunities, is afraid to face their victories. I guess you can be afraid of victory too, right? So I feel like both of these individuals have learned their lessons. So perhaps this is the last lesson to learn, Sagittarius. It's the devil. It's something keeping you back. It's your own demons, your own restrictions. It's something unhealthy. It's something obsessive. It's something not good for you that needs to come into conscious so that you can change it. You can only change your own demons, you know, your own situations, your own fears. Right, so the devil can be not looking at something. So doing something over and over and over and over again and actually not realizing that that is holding you down. This is now coming into your world to show you there's something holding you down. What is it for you? It could be too much shopping. It could be too much coffee. It could be too much drinking. It could be too much of a substance. It could be too much exercise. It could be too much of anything. Anything too much is not good. So you don't have to have fear about that thing and say, oh, I could never have it again, so I don't want to do anything about it. I'll ignore it. Perhaps just taper it down. If you have a lot of coffee, for example, have 1 cup of coffee. And then one morning decide to have some juice. Or do something really weird, like have like a shot of vinegar with the mother and forget about the coffee and you don't know what happened that morning. But for some reason you feel better later. Also really good if you're starting to get a cold. For some reason I feel like I should mention that. So it's just changing something. If there's something keeping you down that you're not conscious about, it's not going to change. If you're conscious about it and you're not doing anything about it, it's now the devil. So what do you feel like needs to change to lighten things up, to get you off the hook, to make you feel like you can grow, like you can be yourself? Sometimes this can be like too many bills and they're piling up and you're not facing them because it's so much to handle. It just starts with 1 step. You know, take 1 bill, 1 company, 1 phone call you've been ignoring and make that call and see if they can help you. And now that's 1 thing off your list. And now make a list and do 1 more thing. And slowly those chains go away. If this is an unhealthy relationship for you, it's up to you to look at that relationship and see what's unhealthy. All right, let's get more. It's also a 15, so it brings you to a 6. It brings you back to stability to fix this. So there's something out of balance when the devil comes up, and it's like a big scary monster. But really, when you look at it, like in this deck, it's like somebody dressed up with a buffalo head and a big fur coat on, running around, probably making grunting noises while there's some kind of ceremony going on in the background so they can scare away the devil and the demons and get the crops to grow, for example. But in the end, this is really just your friend. And the intention is to bring light to something that's not working and bring positive love to something, to the situation so it can change. So it's not to be scared of this, it's just to understand it's there so you can change something. So let's get more clarity on the devil. Let's go to the Art of Life Tarot. Let's get another card for Sagittarius. The 2 of Swords. So perhaps you just need to start by making a decision to do something, to do 1 thing. Perhaps you're procrastinating, Sagittarius, or overwhelmed by something. Perhaps it's just a step-by-step process here to get your stability back, to start to get in touch with your higher self, those inner knowings that you have, to trust that you're right. When you thought of something, you're like, oh, I should have listened to that feeling. I was right about that person. Trust it. The next time, listen to the feeling. Each time it comes. Don't worry about the whole thing, just each time that situation occurs, deal with it. Just like each time there's something you have to deal with in real life, deal with it. Make the phone call. You know, make a list. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a man chooseth, it's such a weird word, chooseth, so is he. Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's Portrait of a Man, detailed by Gustave Caillebotte, 1880, private collection. He looks like he's just been staring out of that window way too long. What to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, where to go, where not to go. But eventually he has to stand up and do something about it. So let's go to the Romance Angels Oracle. Let's get another card for the Two of Swords. Finding peace within your decision. I feel like your decision definitely involves your right and left brain, your logic and your intuition here. And then doing it. I feel like maybe not making a decision is this. Not doing something about it is the devil. So let's see what we have for relationships, matters of the heart, communication, and further clarity for Sagittarius. Codependency. So it's letting something go, Sagittarius. Something that's not healthy for you. It could be a relationship. It could be a pattern in a relationship. It could be always bringing up the past. Always blaming something when that is not the situation that you're dealing with at the time. So it's like getting mad at somebody for something that they did 10 years ago when you're just dealing with this certain situation now. So rather than that situation getting overwhelmed and blown out of proportion, it's not dealt with correctly. So perhaps it's communication or it's actual codependency. It's addictions that are affecting your romantic life. So it's affecting how love is coming in and out of your life by relying on something else too heavily. Relying on another person to make all the decisions, to tell you what's good for you? Or are you doing that for someone else? And you're trying to tell someone else everything that's good for them. This always just comes back to you. You can only control yourself. You can only start by example, lead by example, and start by getting rid of one thing that's not good for you. A situation, a habit. Let's see. It's a general reading, so it's personal. It's different for everybody, Sagittarius. It could be something really small. It could be just procrastination. Or it could be like, you know, having a relationship in your life that is just not healthy. It's not supporting you. It's not helping you grow. I feel like it's something that you have to decide, though. This comes back to you, Sagittarius. Let's go to one card. Books, Sagittarius. So this keeps coming up. You connect, maybe you're connected to an Aries. This came up for Aries, but maybe it's like a fire energy thing. Maybe you have to get to the books. Maybe one thing at a time, make a list. You know, don't get overwhelmed. Or perhaps you're really good with the books and there's somebody around you who relies on you a little too much. So perhaps it's time to teach so somebody else can rely on themselves a little bit rather than take it all on. If that's a responsibility thing with you, I feel like maybe, Sagittarius, it's time for you to give some responsibility away in some cases to somebody else so they can do some things on their own. I feel like you're the teacher more in this situation, but you're always the student too, so you connect to your life's purpose through your involvement with books. So I feel like also like statistics, numbers, something like that. So maybe it's time to take care of some things with the books, finances. Make sure you read the fine print before you sign something. I feel like maybe it has to do with the past somehow. So if this is you that's codependent on somebody else to always sort of do something for you, perhaps it's time for you to do a little studying, get a little organized, get your stuff together so you can feel a little more like this emperor. And in the end, really trust yourself that you know the right way through. I feel like the path of least resistance is the way to go. And don't ignore something that needs to be taken care of. I think start small and it'll get done. I hope this is helpful for you guys. I love you and I'll see you soon.